Alright, we're back at it with another sample. This is a Smoke Wagon Uncut, Unfiltered, batch 35, which is, as Logan researched, 115 proof.
Non-age statement, so we have no idea how old it is.
And it has been so long since I've tried a Smoke Wagon sample, I have no idea what we're about to get from this.
So let's take a
look.
look.
It's also been sitting for a while, so I have no idea what that's done to it. Pretty sweet.
Sweet, little spicy.
I think Smoke Wagon's a higher rye.
I believe it's supposed to be. It's also MGP.
Yeah.
Which, with how weak the nose is, already indicates that to me, because...
And what I do get is very MGP-like.
Yes. It's simple.
It's similar to the nose of the Old Scout cask strength bourbon, actually.
I have to agree.
It's a little bit lighter, but it is very similar profile.
Yeah. And this is like... Honestly, if you took out the dill notes of the rye from MGP, same strength, similar sweetness.
Yeah. It's because Old Scout's like 35% rye. This is probably 15-20%.
Yeah. So, let's see what it tastes like. Because it just smells sweet and spicy.
And it's, again, also a decently dark whiskey.
Pretty dark, yeah. This is definitely more of an amber. This is the lightest whiskey we probably had today. And that's including the maker's picks, which is odd.
Yeah. But it's not light by any means either.
No, it's definitely not light. Very sweet, very spicy. Like ton of pepper and cinnamon.
I'm definitely getting a lot of the MGP influence.
Yes.
Because in the spiciness, I get the sort of dill, thyme, parsley, herbal notes to it.
There's like a type of like cleanness too that MGP has, and I don't know how to describe it. It's just clean. Mm-hmm. Like there's not like a...
Like, I know it's weird to describe a bourbon as having jagged edges. This is not having it.
No. It's spicy. It has black pepper, it has cinnamon, and it has like those herbs
I'm getting a lot of red pepper too.
Like red bell pepper?
Yeah. No, like red pepper flakes. A lot relative to what I expected. It's enough that it's there.
I can see that. The odd part is too, this feels like the hottest whiskey we've had tonight.
I think it is.
Like, including the maker's marks, including that Texas rye we had.
Right.
Like, this one is still sitting in my chest.
So, one thing to say, too, the red pepper and the black pepper is reminiscent of Bowman to me. Which is weird, because they're not alike at all, but it's that note in particular is very similar, consistent with it.
I think I can see it. I haven't had Bowman in a while, though, is my issue.
I had Bowman just the other night. It's reminiscent to me. It doesn't, like, if you told me this was Bowman, I'd tell you you're full of shit. But the pepper and the two different kinds of pepper notes are definitely reminiscent to me. Because, again, Bowman is very pepper forward.
Right.
It's the consistency and the quality and the prevalence is similar. Now, that's coincidence, obviously, because they have nothing to do with each other.
Right.
But it is worth noting that if you like that note from this, you're going to get it here, I think.
Yeah, it's solid.
It's not my favorite. Now, I see people one-to-one trade blends for this. I think that's worthwhile.
I could see that. I would trade a bottle of blends for a bottle of this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I have other bottles I'd rather have than either one of these.
Agreed.
I don't think this is anything special.
So, but it's definitely not bad by any means.
No.
I can't say anything I dislike about it. Just stuff that I wish it were.
I can only say that it's too middle of the road for me to like.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about it.
And that's not necessarily a bad thing. We just don't like. We clearly neither of us like middle of the road.
Well, we can like middle of the road. It's just it has to have that.
It doesn't appeal to us.
Yeah.
I guess is what I meant.
Because I mean, Knob Creek 9 Year to me is middle of the road, but that's my gravitation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
it's middle of the road, but the subtleties are toward what you like.
Yeah.
This is middle of the road, and the subtleties don't lean toward me. It's same with regular Michters. It's good, doesn't lean toward me. If I want middle of the road, for me, regular makers, or like the makers products that don't have the super strong cherry, do that for me. As do stuff like Legion, when you first open it and you don't get a ton of the peanut like you do as it opens up.
Right.
That kind of stuff appeals to me more, where I can see this appealing to people a lot more than it appeals to me.
I have to agree.
Now, would I buy a bottle if I saw it sitting on a shelf and if I wanted to do spirits? Yes, the fuck I think I would.
How much is it MSRP?
55, 60.
I don't know if I would.
For a cask strength, I think I would, just because if I'm looking for a cask strength, there aren't a ton of other decent offerings in that price point.
You want me to be totally honest? I think whenever you go back and try Rare Breed, you're gonna like it a lot more than what we tried it.
I don't doubt that. Based off of what I currently have experienced, it has a decent proof, but it's not overkill. This has more appeal to me than Elijah Craig does, for the most part, for the barrel proofs. Because of the fact that, from what I recall, this was more consistent. The notes, I mean, I like the Old Scout stuff, so it sort of lines up with that more. Whereas the Elijah Craig can be so jumpy even at similar proof points. And, like, I feel like I would trust a bottle of this more than I trust a bottle of some other cask strengths in the first place, if that makes sense.
No, that makes sense to me. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it makes sense.
Yeah. I think that's again, we're showcasing a lot of points where palates differ in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one where mine differs, where if I want a cask strength I can trust, I think this is solid.
Yeah.
Not phenomenal, but solid.
And I think that, honestly, you just like MGP bourbon way more than me.
Yeah, I think so.
I think that that's the case, because we both love MGP rye. I think MGP rye is probably some of the best on the market.
And there's a reason they source in so many places, because they're so reliable, they're so consistent, it's delicious. As long as you're not Ryan and you like the dill notes to it, because if you get a 95.5 MGP rye, you're gonna get that with some capacity. And so I don't think he's gonna like that cask strength rye too much.
Oddly enough, except in Bullet Rye. Bullet Rye doesn't have that dill note.
There's gotta be something else they're doing to it, though.
I don't know what it is, but yeah, Bullet Rye is probably the most distinct. Like, it's known that it's MGP, but it doesn't taste like as much like an MGP as like Dickel Rye does, or Old Scout, or anything like that.
Right. If you want MGP rye, you're not buying it. If you want MGP, like a distinct MGP product, you don't buy Bullet. Bullet sort of has its own taste, and I am curious as to where it comes from.
Well, Bullet Rye definitely comes from MGP.
Well, yeah, but I mean, where the difference in taste comes from, like what they're doing different, or if they're doing anything, and that's the difference, that they're not doing anything to it.
Maybe, I don't know.
Or it could be younger, or it could be older for all we know.
Yeah, that's also true.
I don't know.
That's also true.
It could mellow out with age, because a lot of the MGP ryes we try are typically younger.
Yeah, they're typically around 4 years old. Like,
so that could have something to do with it.
I think it does.
But back to Smoke Wagon. I mean, it's definitely solid, and I don't have again. The only complaint I can see really is too middle of the road or not my flavor profile.
Right.
And you fall under too middle of the road. I fall under not my flavor profile.
Yeah.
Would I buy it? Yeah, like after trying a couple batches, probably. If I were looking to buy a bottle and it's what was around, yeah, I'd probably buy. I would not have any qualms about buying a bottle of this. Would I hunt for this? Hell fucking no.
No.
But I can't really say anything negative about it.
Right.
I just can only say things that aren't positive about it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for what it is in the current state of the bourbon market, I could care less about it. Or couldn't care less about it at this point, I guess.
I can respect it. And I don't feel it as strongly, but I do, to a degree, agree with you.
But I mean, realistically, you see this in the Fine Wine and Good Spirits store. You have that money. Are you really going to be buying Smoke Wagon? Or are you going to be buying something else you want?
And you personally, it depends on what's there. I'd probably buy a Maker's Pick over anything, but hell, as long as you have 46 cask, I'd probably buy another one of that from being real. I was more of a fan of it than you two were.
I would take Maker's 46 cask over this in a heartbeat. You probably favored 46 more than most of us, but there's a lot of things you like more than I do that I would take 46 over.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But, just gonna finish off, this is by no means a bad whiskey at all. Do you think it's justified at the price? Like, not for you personally. Do you think it's worth the price that they put it on at around 60?
I
think if you like MGP bourbon, honestly, yes. Because it's reminiscent of the Old Scout picks you can't regularly find.
Yeah,
it's basically a regularly available Old Scout pick.
Yeah, between $50 and $60. If you're an MGP fan, yes, it's worth it.
To my taste, maybe not. I'm clearly toting the line because I've said both. I'm not really sure.
Because 50 to 60 is like the average price for a cask strength bourbon, if not higher.
Right. But availability would be a thing.
Yeah.
If this were regularly available, yeah, I'd probably have a bottle on my shelf just because it is solid. I know about what I'm going to get based off the multiple batches I've had.
Right.
And it's, again, it's nothing to necessarily write home about, but I can trust it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where I lie with it. It's not nowhere near my favorite, but it's nowhere near my least favorite either.
Right.
And I think the price is justifiable at MSRP.
Mm-hmm.
Would I trade a Blanton's for it? No, because I know the Blanton's is worth more than this should be.
Yeah.
On secondary, I could get more for a Blanton's than this.
Yeah.
Is where I would get with that. But maybe an Eagle Rare. Or an Eagle Rare and a Buffalo Trace. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
The cheaper stuff. Or like an E.H. Taylor small batch. Maybe would be, I mean, for me personally, I would never do that because I like E.H. Taylor.
I have to go back and try E.H. Taylor again.
Yeah, we could do that at some point. But this is something where if I wanted a new cask strength and I wanted a batch I haven't had, specifically of this, if I had an extra E.H. Taylor laying around, I might trade it for this. Because, I mean, MSRP I'm winning by $20.
Yeah.
That's literally, like, that's tack on half the price of another E.H. Taylor onto that, and I'm getting this bottle.
Yeah.
But, like, it doesn't wow me, but it also doesn't disappoint me
right.
much.
That makes sense.
I went into it having no clue what to expect, whether it was going to be terrible or great. It falls right in the middle, so I'm not disappointed, but I'm also not enthused.
Yeah.
So that being said, I mean, I see why people like it. I see why people hunt for it. I won't hunt for it, but I would probably, like, I wouldn't feel bad if I bought this at MSRP.
Yeah, I think that's a safe assumption.
And in terms of whether I replace it, I don't know. But it would depend on I would replace it in lieu of finding an Old Scout store pick. Because I always want an Old Scout store pick on my shelf. Because I love the one I have. And I love the one I'm trying too.
Right.
If I can't find that, yeah, if I really needed to replace that, I would replace it with one of these.
That's fair.
But that might be my middle ground where, yeah, I'd replace it as a replacement for this, not to replace this on its own.
Right.
But, yeah, all in all, I mean, not bad. I came in with no expectations, so it didn't disappoint.
Right.
It didn't blow me away either. So, there you go.